Dear loving students, welcome to the online class of Civics, Chapter 6, Political Parties. In 9th standard, you studied about the role of political parties in the making of the Constitution of India, in electoral politics, in forming and running government. In this tour of democracy, let us understand the role of political parties. We need to ask two questions. Why do we need political parties? What are the functions of political parties? What are the challenges faced by political parties? And the last question we ask, what are the methods to reform political parties? How can we reform the political parties? And one more, we understand the type of party system in different countries. Some countries have single party system, for example China. We have bi-party system, we have in USA and Britain, and we have multi-party system in countries like India. As we study, as we go through the questions, you understand in detail about the role of political parties. First, let us understand the question, what is a political party? A political party is a group of people who come together to contest elections and hold power in the government. So they come together. They come together to contest elections, to take part in elections and hold power in the government. They agree on some policies and programs for the society. So the party which gets majority, they are able to form the government. So that is what is a political party. Now let us come to the next question. Why there is a need for political parties in a democracy? In a democratic setup, political parties are necessary because without them, every candidate in the elections will be independent. Let us imagine a situation. If there are no political parties, what will happen? Who will form the government? How the government will be run? That is the first point. Because without them, every candidate in the election will be independent. The next point, no one will be able to make promises to the people. Elected representatives will be responsible to their constituency only. Each elected MLA or member of parliament, he will be responsible to his constituency only. So nobody can make promises to the people. No one will be able to make promises to the people. No one will be responsible how the country will be run. Since everybody is independent, they are only concerned about their constituency. So no one will be responsible how the country will be run. Political parties are necessary because of their various functions like making of laws. Political parties help in the making of the laws. They help in forming and running government. And after the elections, they form the government and run the government. They provide access to government machinery. So they shape a public opinion. They play the role of opposition. So these are various functions of political parties. So we understand the need of political parties because of their various functions. Let us come to the next question. How do political parties shape public opinion? Point number one, they raise and highlight various issues. Parties have lakhs of members and activists spread all over the country. So they help in taking up issues and forming public opinion. So parties have lakhs of members and activists spread all over the country. So they take up various issues. Whatever issues are there, they will take up those issues and they help in forming public opinion through their meetings or rallies or through the newspapers. They help in shaping public opinion. Some parties launch movements for the resolution of problems faced by the people. Some parties launch some movements for the problems faced by the people. Next, let us come to the next question. What are the functions of political parties? They play a decisive role in making laws for the country. Laws are debated and passed in the legislature. We know that in the legislature, you have studied in 9th standard, there are various procedures for making laws. There is first somebody introduces the bill in the Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha, and there is a first reading, there is second reading and third reading, and the bill is sent to the president for his signature. So the first reading, a bill is introduced. The second reading, there is a clause by clause discussion. The third reading, the bill is put to vote. Then the bill is sent to the president for his signature. If the president wants any kind of changes in the bill, he can send the bill back to the house. We studied only the president has the power to delay money bills. That is also for hardly for some days only. Second point, parties form and run the government. Parties recruit leaders, train them, and make the ministers to run the government. So the parties, they put up candidates in the elections, and when the result comes, if they get majority, those parties which get majority, they form and run the government. And the party which does not get a majority, they play the role of opposition. If one party does not get majority, they take the help of other parties and form a kind of coalition government. You know, we have in Kerala LDF and UDF, Left Democratic Front and United Democratic Front. In the national level, we have the NDA, National Democratic Alliance, and we have the NPA, National Progressive Alliance, and one more third front consisting of left parties. Those parties that lose the elections, they play the role of opposition parties. In Kerala, Congress, the UDF, they are now opposition parties. They criticize the government for its failures and wrong policies. So it is the duty of the opposition parties to criticize the government for its failures and wrong policies. Next, the political parties shape public opinion by raising and highlighting issues faced by the people. They raise and highlight those issues which are faced by the people, whether it is environmental problems, whether it is a Kasturi Rangan problem, whether it is Mullaperiyar sharing of water issue, any issue, they will raise and highlight issues faced by the people. The next question, next point, parties provide the people access to government machinery and welfare schemes. It is the parties who will provide the people access to various government machineries and welfare schemes. So the life mission programs and various other programs introduced by the government, the parties, you approach the party leaders, they will help you to reach the secretariat and get your work done. Distinguish between national parties and state parties. National parties should get at least 6% of votes in the Lok Sabha elections. They should get a minimum 6% of the total votes in the Lok Sabha elections or assembly elections in 4 states and win 4 seats in the Lok Sabha. They should get at least 4 seats in the Lok Sabha elections. Then every party in the country should register with the Election Commission. There are 6 national parties which are recognized by the Election Commission: Indian National Congress, BJP, CPIM, CPI, Bahujan Samajwadi Party and NCP. Now let us come to state parties. A party should secure at least 6% of the total votes in the state legislative assembly election. Either they should get 6% of the total votes in the state legislative assembly elections, and win at least 2 seats in the legislative assembly election. They should get minimum 2 seats in the assembly elections. We must understand there are more than 750 political parties in India. In the textbook, a list of political parties are given. Their names are given. You can go through the book and see. State-wise, they are given which are the state parties. We have in Kerala Congress, Mani Group, Jacob Group, okay, and Joseph Group, etc. We have Tamil Nadu state parties like AIDMK, and we have DMK, some of the state parties. Next question. What are the main policies of the Indian National Congress? It is the oldest party founded in 1885. It is the oldest party in the world, we can say. It was founded in 1885 by one Mr. A.O. Hume to provide a platform for Indians to express their views, opinions to the British government. This party played a dominant role in Indian politics to build a modern, secular, democratic republic under the leadership of Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. This party played a dominant role because they were in power for so many years. After the first election 1952 to almost 1975-77, it is the Congress party which ruled continuously in India. It is a centrist party in its ideological orientation. It is a centrist party means it is neither left nor right. So you can see the symbol of Indian National Congress, the palm, the open hand is a symbol of the Indian National Congress. It supports secularism and welfare of the weaker sections and minorities. It supports secularism. India is a secular country where everybody is given the freedom to practice, profess and propagate the religion. No discrimination is done on the grounds of religion. And it is also concerned about the welfare of the weaker sections and minorities. The scheduled castes, scheduled tribes, the Dalits, the OBCs, etc. It supports new economic reforms with a human face. It supports economic reforms but with a human face. Now let us come to what are the key features of BJP. BJP stands for Bharatiya Janata Party. It was founded in 1980 from earlier it was known as Janasangh, to build a strong and modern India. It wants to build a strong and modern India. It believes in cultural nationalism or Hindutva. That is a main feature of BJP. It believes in cultural nationalism or Hindutva. Third one, it wants a full territorial and political integration of Jammu Kashmir with India. This party believes that Jammu Kashmir is an integral part of India. It wants a full territorial and political integration, unification of Jammu Kashmir with India. It wants to bring uniform civil code for all people living in India, irrespective of the religion. Wants to bring a uniform civil code for all the people, whether you are a Hindu, Muslim, or a Christian, or a Parsi, or a Jains, whatever may be your religion. It wants to bring a uniform civil code for all people living in India. It wants to ban religious conversions. It is against religious conversions taking place in any states. Now let us come to what are the features of BSP. BSP stands for Bahujan Samajwadi Party, which is very much prevalent in Uttar Pradesh. Bahujan Samajwadi Party was established in 1984 by Kanchiram from Hoshiarpur in Punjab. Now it is under the control of leader is Mayawati, who was earlier the Chief Minister of UP. It draws inspiration from the teachings of Sahu Maharaj. It draws inspiration and ideas. Inspiration and ideas from the teachings of Sahu Maharaj, Mahatma Jyotiba Phule, a social reformer, Periyar Ramasamy Naikar, and B.R. Ambedkar. So, Bahujan Samajwadi Party gets ideas and inspiration from the teachings of Sahu Maharaj, Mahatma Jyotiba Phule from Maharashtra, Periyar Ramaswamy Naicker and B.R. Ambedkar. It stands for securing the interest and welfare of the Dalits and oppressed people. It is concerned about the welfare of the Dalits and oppressed people. It has its main base in UP, Madhya Pradesh, Delhi, Punjab and Chhattisgarh. The symbol of BSP is elephant. The symbol of BJP is a lotus. What are the salient features of CPIM? It was founded in 1964. It believes in Marxism and Leninism. It supports secularism, socialism and democracy. It took ideas from the Karl Marx and Lenin. It supports secularism. It is in favor of socialism and democracy. It opposes imperialism. Imperialism means colonialism. And communalism. Communalism is one of the challenges faced by your country. How our country is divided on the basis of religion. Some people think that their religion is superior than others' religion. It accepts democratic elections as a useful and helpful means of securing means getting the objective of socio-economic justice in India. Democratic elections are useful and helpful for getting the objective of a socio-economic justice in India. It enjoys strong support in West Bengal and Kerala and Tripura, especially among the poor, factory workers, farmers, agricultural laborers and the intelligentsia. So at present we know Kerala is ruled by LDF led by CPIM. It was formed in, next one, what do you know about Communist Party of India? It was formed in 1925 but became weak after a split in the party in 1964. We know 1964 there was a split in the Communist Party of India and CPIM was born. So this party became weak. It believes in Marxism and Leninism. It supports secularism and democracy. It is against the forces of secessionism. What is secessionism? Some states want to break away from India and form another country. In Punjab they had a movement called the Khalistan movement. They want to liberate from India and start a new state. Maybe northeastern states sometimes try for secessionism. Secessionism means a tendency to break away from the country, and it is also against communalism. It accepts parliamentary democracy as a means of promoting the interest of the working class, farmers and poor. It has significant presence in Kerala, West Bengal, Punjab, Tamil Nadu and Andhra Pradesh. The CPIM, you must understand, they have their presence in Kerala, West Bengal and Tripura. Those three states only. How was NCP formed? What are its policies? It was formed in 1999 following a split in the Congress party by Sharad Pawar and P. Sagma and one Mr. Anwar. Those three, they broke away from the Congress party. It supports democracy, Gandhian secularism, equity and social justice and federalism. It wants that high offices in the country should be confined to natural born citizens of the country. They want a person becoming Prime Minister, Chief Minister, all should be natural born citizens of the country, not anybody who has acquired citizenship of the country. A major party in Maharashtra and has its presence in Meghalaya, Manipur and Assam. So that is all about what are the major national parties of India. Please go through this class and write down the questions and answers. We have studied today What is a political party? Why there is a need for political parties? What are the functions of political parties? We have studied the difference between national parties and the state parties. We also studied about the features of 6 national parties in India. So I want all of you to write down the questions answers and attend the exam well and study well. I wish you all the best.